Yeah, I think you've seen in the past the union's ability to get thousands of people here when they put out the call. And so when I got up this morning, I thought, well, this will be an interesting day, a necessary day, because this is the country we live in, and everybody has not only the privilege but the right to be heard. And this was the day that was set aside for that to happen. So I assumed that there would have been a lot more people, because, like I said, in the past, when the union has put out the clarion call, they can get thousands and thousands of people to show up, and that just didn't happen today.
What are you going to take away from hearing the testimony from people today?
I think a couple things, but the first one is that there's some misinformation out there that teachers, and I'm assuming even parents, need to have corrected, so that they can get some comfort in what we're proposing. The second is, you heard from some people that are very supportive of this, that let's make sure that the flexibility is in place for the local districts to implement this properly. That's always a concern of mine. So, that's one thing I took away from this, is let's go back and make sure the flexibility is there. And then the fact that I think people are coming to the realization that the current system we have is not sustainable, financially sustainable. We can't cut more school days off the calendar next year. We can't cut teacher pay more. We have to have money for technology and textbooks and for gifted and talented, and the current system doesn't have that, and there's no way to get it back in the current system without raising taxes. So people recognize that the system has to change. Now they want input on what the new system is going to look like, and so I think we're seeing a transition to recognizing that the current system isn't sustainable, so we need a new system. We've put a plan on the table, and I think people are now the shift is going to be as to what that specifically that new plan should look like.
I imagine once it gets to committee, your plan will have changed a little bit to some degree. But having said that, what are some of the key points you want to make sure is in this once it's all said and done?
Well, first off, the goal is that we have to be able to teach more students at a higher level with limited resources. That means we're going to have to do things different. It means we're going to have to spend what we currently have different. So that's critical, that the plan we put together fits with the reality of the economy and the budget we see today and in the future. Next is that it has to be focused on what is going to have the greatest impact on increasing student achievement. We know that the quality of the teacher in the classroom is most important, and so we have to have the policies, the labor policy in place that gives us the best shot at making sure that every child has a highly effective teacher every year. We need to have a financial package that retains the great teachers we already have and attracts more of the best and brightest into this profession. And then we have to have the transparency so that everyone involved in education is aware of how their schools are performing academically and also how the funds are being managed fiscally.
And my last question is do you see that you're going to find yourself with a little bit of flexibility hearing some of the concerns?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, as long as when those concerns that are based on fact, it's difficult to respond to concerns that are based on misinformation. But those that have been based on fact, then absolutely, we're working every day to address those. I don't feel like the only bastion of wisdom and knowledge is on the second floor of the Lynn B. Jordan building, where my office and my staff exist. And a lot of what you see in this plan that we've rolled forward has been the result of years of people being talking together and working together, including the teachers union, including the superintendents association, including the PTA and business people. A lot of what you see in our plan is part of those conversations, and those conversations will continue to have an influence on what we do.